Hello, hello, my friends. Another dedicated candle review for you today. We're going to be talking about HOMEWORX Sweet Autumn Nectar. Now, full disclosure, this candle was sent to me in PR by Slatkin & Co. About a month ago now. This candle was part of the what was it called? The Big Deal over at QVC. It is part of the Orchard Treats collection. There is a set of 3 of these candles. So it was this one. It's a blackberry maple ice cream candle as well as the mahogany pumpkin. They are all together. Now, if you are looking at this candle, even though the packaging looks like it mimics the same packaging as their typical 4-wick 18-ounce vessel, these candles are 3-wick 14-ounce vessels. So you might want to be aware of that. I know that some people prefer the 3 wicks because they have smaller spaces and they might find the 4 wicks to be a little bit too much. And the performance of this candle has actually surprised me quite a bit because you guys know, if you've been with my channel any length of time, I typically don't love this 3-wick format from HOMEWORX because I don't find it to have as much oomph, but you're going to be a little bit surprised by this review. So let's go ahead, first and foremost, talk about this beautiful packaging. HOMEWORX, we know they just knock it out of the park with their packaging. This beautiful photographic wraparound label. We've got some pomegranates here. It looks like maybe even like some cranberries and some fall leaves all in here. I just love the way that their packaging illuminates when the candle, when you've got those flames going there on the wicks. This specific candle that I am reviewing has a pour date of May 5th, 2025. Fragrance notes listed on the bottom of this candle are dark pomegranate, forest fruits, sprinkle of cinnamon, and clove bud. Okay, so what does my nose detect here? You guys, this one is, it's very interesting. First and foremost, if you are somebody who loves very sweet fragrances, you are going to like this. Now, this is not really like a super sweet, there's no other like gourmand aspects to this. Like there's no bakery note or cookie note. This is just a straight up like, I think the word that they use here, the addition of the word nectar in here, that's actually very, very appropriately marketed in my opinion, because this is a very sweet, nectary type of fragrance. I do smell pomegranate in here, which truthfully, you guys, pomegranate is one of those fruit fragrances that like I could take or leave. I don't really have any kind of like scent memory or attachment to pomegranate notes. It also says forest fruits in here. And I don't know exactly what they mean by forest fruits. My guess is that there is a little bit of maybe cranberry or blackberry, probably a little bit of both mixed in here. I do detect a little bit of berry in here, but it's not like a strawberry or a blueberry type of scent. It's definitely more, it leans a little bit more cranberry to my nose because there's something about this that even though this is I would say like 90% very, very sweet fragrance, there's a slight element of tartness to this, which is what's making me think that there's a little bit of cranberry mixed in here. But then they put in the sprinkle of cinnamon and the clove bud. And the cinnamon note in here is soft. This is not like a red hot cinnamon type of fragrance. It's a soft cinnamon. It's kind of like a spiced fruit type of fragrance, or like a spiced nectar. I guess that's the way that you could put it. If you like very, very sweet, autumnal, fruity fragrances, I think you're going to like this. Now, this is not like a deep plum scent, not anything like that. It's definitely a more like sugary autumnal fruit. I guess that's the best way that I could describe it. It's a pomegranate. It's a pomegranate fragrance with a little bit of cranberry, I think, in there. And then you've got the soft cinnamon note. The clove note doesn't really come out too much for me personally. I mean, it's there probably in the background, but if they didn't write down that there's a clove bud in there, I probably wouldn't smell it as much. My nose definitely picks up a little bit more of like a soft cinnamon note in this fragrance, but it's nice. I'm going to tell you guys, the fragrance overall is one that like, I don't find myself needing more of this. I find that I actually like pairing this fragrance with a vanilla gourmand type of scent, or like a more vanilla scent, just because for me personally, it's very, very sweet. And yeah, it's not one that I want more of. Like, I just kind of feel kind of meh about the fragrance in and of itself. But if you are somebody who loves super, super sweet fragrances, then I think that you will like this. Nothing about it though comes across as like candied overly artificial sugary sweetness. It is definitely more of like the sweetness that you would find in a nectar type of fragrance. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this candle. So like I said, this is a 3-wick. I've had this lit for about 45 minutes now. Now, the one thing that I will say is that this candle is burning pretty hot and fast. These wicks do get a little bit long. I would recommend not letting these candles burn any longer than 3 hours maximum, because these are those types of wicks that they don't develop a ton of excess carbon, but I don't feel like that they are how do I put it? They get kind of long, which means that they get weighed down, and you do need to trim them just a little bit, because otherwise what I had happen after one of the burns was that I didn't trim the wicks right after I extinguished them. I do use a wick dipper, and what ended up happening was that one of my wicks actually fell over into the wax pool. Thankfully, I was able to like salvage it on the next burn, but you might want to be aware of that these wicks I'm finding on a lot of my newer like 2025 HOMEWORX pours, I am finding that they're burning pretty hot and fast, and they are longer wicks that you do kind of need to stay on top of trimming, because otherwise they do want to lean and fall over into the wax pool. I've had that happen with quite a few of a few of their candles recently. So just want to be aware of that. However, the hot and fast burning wicks, I think, are translating to a little bit better performance in terms of strength and throw. This candle for me, surprisingly, you guys, these 3 wicks I have mentioned in the past from HOMEWORX, they've maxed out usually at like a 4 or 5. I typically have to relegate them to the closed concept bedrooms in my home. However, this one I would give about a solid 7.5 in terms of strength and throw for me. It's performing really well. In fact, I actually burned this in my daughter's room on the first burn, thinking like, oh, okay, it's a 3-wick, it's not going to perform that well. I could smell it out in the living room. Like it was projecting out of my daughter's room. And when I walked into my daughter's room, it was actually too much in there. It was like cloyingly sweet for me in there. So I would say that because this is such a sweet fragrance, if you have a smaller space and you can easily find really, really sweet fragrances to be cloying, you might want to watch out for that with this one. However, if you're planning to burn this in a room that's a little bit bigger, maybe has some higher ceilings, I think that you might enjoy it and you probably won't experience it that way. So overall, you guys, I've actually been pretty impressed with the burn quality of not just this one, but actually all 3 of the fragrances that I got in this trio. Like I said, they did send it to me in PR, but you guys know if you've been with my channel any length of time, I receive plenty of candles in PR that I don't always give glowing reviews to. But this one is actually, I do give 2 thumbs up on it, and I will have reviews on the other 2 candles in this collection, hopefully for you guys by the end of this week. I'm hoping to get those up for you. So if you have been eyeing this trio over at QVC, you have a little bit more information on it. But overall, you guys, I will just say the performance on all 3 so far have been pretty good. You just might want to be aware of those long wicks that do want to fall over into the wax pool. That might be the only issue that you could possibly run into with them. But let me know in the comment box down below if you purchased this trio from QVC and what your burn experience has been with them. Like I said, I've been pretty impressed with these 3 wicks, and normally 3 wicks aren't really my jam. I will say that the 4 wicks still really are my bread and butter preference when it comes to HOMEWORX, but these are doing quite well. So anyways, you guys, like I said, let me know in the comment box if you have purchased these already or if you have been eyeing them. Please hit thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.